Oh yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Bear market talk, that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Bear market talk. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. It is Friday. Make sure to enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend, legends. Let's go right away and say hello to the beautiful community. How's everybody feeling? We did get that leg down on Bitcoin, guys. We tested and we actually got beneath the lows that we do have on Coinbase. We came down. We got below it, guys. Are you surprised? We are not surprised, guys. We are not surprised. This was very much expected. Very likely to claim those lows from Coinbase. And we actually broke down below early this morning. I was letting know the people in the community because it was a zone that was interesting to possibly look for a long, but a long was not taken. A long was not taken. That was given in the pro community, also the VIP. Okay, just to let the people know, stock markets are dropping very aggressively. Okay, this was the S&P 500 this morning with the London Open. Daily level not holding. We're losing the lows. Longs not taken here yet. Okay. At least for me, maybe you have another strategy, all right? And it's important to let the people know, right? When you lose a level, I'm just not interested, right? If we hold it, we start dancing around, we can possibly take it into consideration. But losing the low on mainly, the spot exchanges was very much anticipated. We talked about this yesterday, guys, on the live stream, right? Highly likely, right? There's a scenario that we can get a little bounce, claim those lower highs, and then come down or come down directly from this area as we created a small little local internal test of the highs of the mini range, okay, that we had, which was this one right over here, which was the acceptable short trade, right? If you want to join the downtrend after this wick that we had on Coinbase claiming the lows of the range, well, this was kind of your chance right there. Try and get a good entry, right? And just follow the downtrend momentum to literally claim the local lows or even the lows on spot, right? So we are downtrending and the probabilities were higher, guys, to actually get to the low of Coinbase. We mentioned this on yesterday's stream, right? We talk about probabilities. We don't know exactly what the price is going to do instantly. But looking at the probabilities, it was either roll down from here, where we're getting resistance from the point of control, or if we do break up, well, another shorting opportunity would be these lower highs that we had here just at 114K, slightly below 114K. That would be in a very good shorting scenario, looking at all of this as a WXY. So it was either roll down from here or get a leg up and then roll down from there. And it's simple talk here, guys. Simple talk on realizing why there was high probability in coming down to this level. Of course, we did come down there. I was interested in longs, but long was not taken yet. Stock market was absolutely collapsing. We were losing the lows, and I need to let the community know, right? Because obviously I'm interested in longing, and the community do know that, right? We are looking for the reversal signs, which we haven't got still, guys, okay? So being interested in longs doesn't mean I'm going to long straight away, right? So they know my trading scenarios, okay, such as the pro community and the VIP. And just to let them know, on Bitcoin, not interested yet, okay? On the live stream, we realized that there was high probability in rolling over to test those lows or break them. And let me just give a quick explanation for all of those people maybe that are new or didn't join yesterday or new subscribers. It was simply because of the dead cat bounce that we formed last Friday. Last Friday, we got a massive bounce. We corrected throughout Saturday and bounced throughout Sunday, entering into Monday, forming a three-wave move to the upside. Now, we do not know if this is going to be a three-wave corrective structure, or it's going to actually, form higher low, right, and continue going to the upside. That's a possibility. But the moment the probabilities increased that we were going to take out the low on Coinbase, was on Tuesday when we got the rollover, almost claiming this low right over here. So that automatically increased the probabilities that we're likely going to take out this low, as this movement to the upside from the Friday dump is likely corrective, meaning that, we are looking for those lows to be hit at some point, right? Simple Elliott wave theory, probabilities that we can understand on the higher time frame. Of course, locally, we said maybe this was the SFP that could actually roll over. Maybe it's not. Maybe the price actually, forms a higher low, and this was our next major level of interest, okay? So it really is level to level, right? If this level doesn't roll over and we break above the range highs, mini range, right? Then obviously we're looking for these highs, because that was the value area high of this entire area. Regardless, we either roll down from here or we roll down after taking those highs. Okay, so this is an expected move, right? And we're going to go through higher time frame, and we're going to do bear market talk. We're going to do bear market talk because it is the topic right now. There is extreme fear around the border, we need to discuss, what do I think about the bear market? I actually got a couple of DMs today saying, am I de-risking my spot bags? And I have to say, I'm happy with what I sold for the moment, and I'm not bearish. Okay? We are looking for the lows to be hit, maybe even lower levels, guys. I think after this bounce, if we do get a bounce, I'm going to talk about the resistance zones. I think if we do get a relief rally from here, I think it's very likely going to form a lower high. We're going to be analyzing the waves, of course, to the upside. Okay? On the local time frame with the legends throughout the next coming days. But if we do get a nice 5-wave move up here in a very corrective structure, then yeah, we would possibly look for longs. However, if we move up here already very correctively, right, into the zone, the most important area of resistance is the point of control, right, of this mini range that we had from Friday's drop. That is sitting right now, if this were to be the low, at the golden pocket from the high to the lows, right? Golden pocket, point of control, 50% slightly below the value area low of this trading area. So this becomes a crucial zone for Bitcoin between $110 and $111,000, give or take, 111.5. This is a very, very struggling area for the price of Bitcoin. And I do believe that another lower high and another low is very, very possible, okay? The bounce might not even be that strong. It might be a shallow bounce and then roll back down to the lows here. So today's Friday. We want to be a little bit cautious on Friday, because just at Friday evening last week, a few hours from now, it was literally Friday night, depending on where you are in the world, or Friday midday, maybe in the US, where we got this major collapse on Friday, right? So we don't like Fridays, guys. Last Friday was not good. Will we repeat a little bit of more downside momentum? As explained on yesterday's stream, the probabilities in successfully breaking down from the lows here are low. And when we say successfully, we're talking about a major collapse down, right? We talk about, a $10,000 move or so, right? Give or take. Dropping down a few $1,000s is expected. It was expected, right? It is expected, but we're not looking for a waterfall. I mean, this peak down here is exactly at 103.7 point. That's literally where we bounced, right? Just on the Picasso drawing. So we're not expecting the price to roll over and get down to 95K, right? Just yet, right? Just yet. So the move down was expected. It all had to do with a bounce from Friday, guys. We're looking at the probability moves. And yes, I am actually still bullish on the higher time frame. I'm actually still bullish, and I do see new all-time highs coming, guys, in the next few weeks. It might take a little bit long right now to get a recovery after this drop. We need to chop around, find a bottom, start some new uptrend structure. That could take several weeks eventually, okay? I cannot deny that. Feeling a bit bullish now seems a little bit weird, right? It's like, come on, man. You know, I think it's the top, right? Look at the drop. Look at the price. It looks weak. It doesn't look like it's going to recover. We understand that this was a scenario a few weeks ago, okay? We understood that this was very possible to come down like this, and it would still be bullish. You like it or not, getting below 107K would still be bullish considering the higher time frame. So we need to talk about that. Feeling bullish, bearish, bear market. We need to talk about it, guys. So far, yeah, we got this June naked point of control, which was not hit on the Coinbase and spot charts, okay, which was sitting at 100 and yeah, around about 105K or so. But let's get that out of the way. So that's holding, right? We did wick it on futures, but we did not on the Coinbase chart. But we're not here to talk about that right now. Bull market, bear market. Let's go say hello to the beautiful community. We've got over 500 people watching. Make sure to destroy the like button if you do enjoy the content. Okay, we talk about probabilities, guys. We talk about what's more likely. Go up, go down. Is it a bear market? I don't think so, just as of yet, with the information that we have. We can take a look at the local price action, looking at the 1 hourly, and try and figure out levels of resistance and support and how the price could structure throughout the next coming days. This is what we like to do as well. Yesterday, the probabilities were to come down, guys. Okay. Locally, we were analyzing the internal waves and what we have, the price structure. There was a local rally possible, but if we had it, it was an interesting short if we claimed these highs. If not, it's going to roll over from here, which we did create that little SFP from the local, you know, little range highs, right? We kind of got the movement down to sweep up the lows, boom, and then sweep up the local highs right there, which kind of gave you your shot. Stop loss at the highs, don't risk it. If you get stopped out, look for the next level. We are downtrending. We are anticipating that the lows on Coinbase are likely going to be hit. So getting into intraday shorts to claim that low was the best option throughout the last 24 hours, right? Of course, if you short here, yeah, you know, your stop loss, you could still jump in, right, when you see the price action now. But when it's about getting into good levels and good levels of invalidation, well, eventually this little SFP yesterday was your best option, okay, right over here. So we are going to go through the higher time frame, do bear market talk, what we need to see to actually start being a bit worried about. Could this be the top? I do not think so, based on the information that we have. This movement down was one of the scenarios inside of the bullish case. This is the only way that I see, at least, how we can count a 5-wave move to the upside. I cannot count this structure to add to the 5-wave move up. And we need a bull market to end in a 5-wave structure. I'm sorry, but you know, or get a strong impulsive move down, which we do have right now. We have a 5-wave move down. When we do take a look at the spot exchanges, we claim the lows of Friday. There is a 5-wave down. So it's all going to be on the bounce that we do have in the next, give or take, you know, I'm going to say it's going to be roundabout in, you know, entering into next week. Maybe the weekend gets a bounce. Would be a little bit skeptical. But it all has to do with the bounce. The probabilities of getting a strong relief rally soon are very, very high. Okay? A relief rally is expected. Possibly claiming the low one more time. As mentioned yesterday, a successful breakdown from the recent lows is not expected. And when I say successful breakdown, it's not dropping $2,000 like we did today. It's dropping, you know, $10,000, right? Or 7 or 8 even would be a big breakdown, but not 2,000, not 3,000, right? That's still okay. It's still inside of the range. So I am expecting some good reversal. But let's talk here later on through the 1 hourly time frame why one more lower high from this lower high is very, very likely. One more lower high is likely. Okay, I think the bounce is going to be very choppy, very corrective, and we are expecting one more low. Okay, and that has to do with this structure. Okay, that has to do with this structure right over here, which is eventually, you might know already, we have multiple 1-2s here, 1-2 and another 1-2, or maybe even 3 1-2s. Okay, the big move down with high volume, very corrective structure as explained yesterday, high probability to claim the low to at least create that fifth wave, right? Now the overall question is, do we get that 4 and then another 5, right? With the potential to scratch 100k, maybe 99k, that would be pretty aggressive. You know, it's very much a possibility. But we are looking for exhaustion here right now. And the main reason why we're looking for exhaustion and signs of a recovery, signs of a reversal, is because the big move already happened, right? The big aggressive move happened. And when you have a big move in the middle of moving down in a downtrend, what you expect is that this low is slowly going to chop, right? You're going to get a breakdown of a few $1,000s, boom, boom, breakdown of a few $1,000s. Ultimately, you are looking for the price to bottom out at some point and get a strong relief. A strong relief soon, potentially by next week, is expected. How you handle this is on you, right? This is how, you know, we'll go through the lower time frame and try and analyze a little bit of the internal moves, what we need to see to be confident in that reversal, and when not to be confident, right? Catching the lows at support, you know, can be very tricky for a lot of people that do not manage risk, okay, and don't know how to handle their stop losses and their risk management, okay? So I am looking for that bigger relief bounce, but not quite yet, right? Higher time frame, bear market, bull market. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Whenever you got the chance, would you please take a look at the total 3? Is it bullish or weekly bearish divergence? I still think that it's bullish. Okay, total 3. We see a massive wick on Friday, but wicks are okay as long as you get a massive move up. It is true that it's rolled down a little bit. It's still looking okay. As Ethereum is still looking okay. All right. Ethereum's looking stronger than Bitcoin. I did mention this yesterday. Also considering the Ethereum BTC chart. I think Ethereum will likely outperform Bitcoin in the coming weeks on the bounce. I do see Ethereum hitting new all-time high. This is probably going to take some weeks. We could revisit the lows. We could range for a little bit longer. Okay, bear with me here, guys. It's not tomorrow. It's in a few weeks potentially. But I do see Ethereum climbing up to all-time high. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And Ethereum is actually looking a bit stronger than Bitcoin. Okay, a little bit stronger than Bitcoin. And I think Ethereum, once Bitcoin gets that relief rally, which is very expected for me in the next, you know, give or take, I think it potentially could be into next week where we get that larger relief rally that we could go to 116, maybe 118K, right? Sweep up that lower high that we formed throughout Monday. Very, very good chance that we get some kind of a relief rally. We're going to see people coming back from extreme fear, right? It's back. It's bullish again, right? We're back. Based on Elliott wave theory and the charts, guys, it's just likely to happen. It's likely to happen as explained. But yeah, locally, it was just very likely to claim the lows as explained on yesterday's stream. Get the bounce or not the bounce, we're looking for the lows to be hit and maybe a little relief rally and then another low, okay? Because it has to do with the movement down from all-time high. It does look like we can get a couple of more chops here. And yeah, we'll go through that in today's stream as well. First of all, let's go through comment section. Make sure to destroy the like button. I'm not sure where you're from, guys. Let me know down below where you're from, okay? In the comment section. Nico Soapy, how are you doing? Let's go. Staffer1, the legend himself, giving love and power here. Nico Soapy, let's go. I have my TP at 95K. Woo-hoo. Nice. Make sure to book some profits as we go down. Suzanne, I know Suzanne's in a good short. She has been saying that she's been shorting the market the last few days. which has been playing out very nicely for her, which is absolutely epic. Probabilities were to take out the low. Okay, so for anybody that had shorts from higher, sorry, it was not a bad idea to actually hold the short till you actually get below the Coinbase lows. Okay, I would start considering taking some profits. I mean, depending on, I would leave some open, of course. That's always good to hedge against long positions that could be taken in the next coming days. But well done for holding that short. The probabilities were higher on this mini range that we formed in the last few days to actually move down, guys. There was nothing bullish about this structure. Okay, nothing bullish about this structure that we formed in the last few days this week. It was just looking very bearish. Very, very bearish movement. So we got the move down. Now that we got the move down, I want to explain a few scenarios. Okay, but make sure to understand that getting a relief pump, okay, a relief pump, as we have swept most of the liquidity, guys, to the downside. Okay, most of the liquidity was sitting below 107k, 108k, 107k. And it's mostly been swept already. So don't be surprised. Based on Elliott wave theory, based on liquidity. So Elliott wave theory is saying a relief pump is likely to happen soon. Okay. Even now, getting this movement down, if we are looking. If we do map out this chart that we drawed yesterday with a bit of Picasso drawing here in the blue, you can see that there's a pretty strong relief pump, right, on the drawing. This is maybe what we could be forming, okay, throughout maybe today, tomorrow. I mean, weekends are usually not too volatile, so maybe the weekend's going to be very rangy and we might not get up there unless we get up, you know, to 110k today. Right, just be aware of that, guys. It's very much a possibility, okay, that we could get that relief rally, because the idea here, as explained yesterday, is that you know, we could be looking for something like this, right, where we have from all-time high a big move, you know, a decent move down, a bounce. Another move down, which, you know, I'm kind of here in the discussion if we do have another 1-2 in this zone. 1-2, 1-2. But regardless, even though if it's 3 1-2s or 2 1-2s, we only have 1 4 and 5, right? We've only come down the low of the third wave once, which was this morning. So I'm at least looking for the relief rally to very likely create a lower high and create one more low. Okay. So yeah, it is in your best interest to actually still maintain some of the short, regardless if you're short from here or from here or from here, right, yesterday. But take some profits eventually. You know, we need to take profits once we see a possible impulsive move at the end stages, right? When you are in the fifth wave stages, you want to consider getting out, or, you know, of the positions partially, right, or so significantly. So this bounce, where can this bounce to? There's a lot of resistance, but my best zone, I really wouldn't be interested in shorting here, me personally, right? Could we reject exactly the 107k and roll over? Maybe yes, if you want to use that as a level, right? I mean, I'm not too fond about it, if I'm honest with you here. Can we just hit the lows on Coinbase at 107k and roll over from there? You can use it as a barrier, right? It is possible that instead of reclaiming it and move higher, maybe it acts as resistance. It's not the greatest level if I want to join a short, right? It seems late for any new shorts here, even though we're still downtrending. Okay, I would only consider this zone right over here. It's much better between 110 and 111. You might think, oh, we're too far away right now. We ain't going to go up there. Trust me, we'll go up there faster than you think. So this would be the only area that I would consider. Okay, value area low, point of control, basically of this week since the Friday drop, to create that fourth wave, and then another roll back down that could happen, beginning stages of next week, and then look for the reversal. So it might not get up there, don't get me wrong here, but it's the only interesting area that I like. 110, 111, point of control, 50% to the golden pocket from this high to the low is actually in that area. So it's the best area really to consider that it could roll over, right? I would be very cautious. This is an extreme barrier. It can wick up maybe to hit this lower high at 112k. It's a good SFP zone. This is actually a good SFP area because you have the point of control. So if the price does decide to do this, it's the only zone that I would be interested to take the short. Really, shorting the low on Coinbase at 107k as we tap it. I think that it can roll over, continue downtrending. But if I want to take a good short, this is the best area of confluence. And based on the analysis, considering Elliott wave theory, it would be much better to get that, higher time frame, a bit of a bigger fourth bounce, right? So it's the best level, 110 to 112, right? Well, 112 really for that swing failure pattern would be the best option with the point of control. That's at least, right? We at the lows right now. Do we continue shorting in a fifth wave? We want a bigger relief pump, right? We could roll over and go slightly lower. Don't get me wrong here. Of course we can, but just shorting here, you need to go to the 3-minute, 5-minute time frame, right? And really look at the internal waves and the internal resistance. But I'm not too interested really on that. Okay, I would be remaining patient based on the best zone, which is this kind of order block with the point of control. Okay, because it does look like that fifth wave could be completed or almost completed here. So shorting down here and get caught on that relief rally, you should be short from higher, right? And if you want to look for another short, I think this is the best option. 111k area, right? Coming into this order block, point of control, lower high, golden pocket from high to low. It's just the best area to reject, right? So what about longs, right? What about longs? Well, longs is a different story, right? Longs is a different story. I was very skeptical about longing today. Let the people know it's looking weak. Stock market's looking weak. Let's wait a little bit till we have a clearer range and a possible reversal sign. When we are nuking like this, it's better to sit on your hands instead of aping in on a long to try and catch the low, guys. It's dangerous. Whoever tried to catch a long anywhere in this movement down got absolutely punished, right? And we don't do that. And I need to let the people know, no longs taken. Just so just so that people are are saying, okay, right, it's not a good idea. Depending on your strategy, right? You might be in a 3x, 5x long, right? And you're happy to add to the position here 1-2%, and your stop loss is at 94k. Maybe you have that different strategy, right? But internally for day trading setups, not interested at the moment yet. So I'm going to go through the comment section. This is a little bit of the idea that we have still here, guys. I think that there's a good chance that this is not the low. There is a good chance that this is not the low, and it has to do with the rejection from all-time high. There is a couple of 1-2s here at least. And we had the big volume 3, very corrective bounce that we were easily identifying throughout the last 2 days. This is lightly corrective, guys. We might get a bounce to this high, or maybe this is the lower high and we come down to the lows, right? Based on the analysis yesterday. This is nothing bullish about this bounce. So we're looking for lower, and we got the low. So yeah, we just want to be a little bit cautious right now and getting too bullish. I think this is the classic moment where you get that relief rally, and people are going to be flipping bullish very, very quickly, right? And that's why this has a chance of creating one more low and then reversing, right? This is the best level to long will be the next low created. If we get a bounce here and we fail, right, and we roll over, this is the moment it's going to be looking extremely good, and start thinking aggressively and getting into the long, because this, there will be one that is going to wipe out all of these lower highs. There will be that reversal potentially next week, that will have that big strong move of $10,000, right? We're back, guys. Okay, that kind of feeling. This is very, very likely going to happen, but we still look for it slightly lower, right? Not massively lower, but relief rally, one more low is kind of what I'm looking at here. And it all has to do with this structure. Okay, I'm just going to repeat myself here again and again. So yeah, let's go through the comment section. Let's talk about also the higher time frame, most importantly, because it's all about bear market, right? We do have the impulsive move down, but I am still very much in the camp of new all-time highs. Now we have a problem with this structure. Okay, we have a flat right now. We got a completed 5-wave move, or almost completed. The problem with this flat is that we could be forming a W, okay? And then a larger WXY. We form our X wave and then our Y wave that has the potential in getting back below the lows of W, sorry, right? So we have lots of time still. We have many weeks for the range to continue, get relief rally, sideways momentum. When we take a look at Fibonacci time from the April lows to the top of the pump of all-time high in August, we just crossed last week the 382 Fibonacci time. We have a lot of time still, guys. Even part of rest of October and November to really be choppy still, and even claim the lows again after a bounce. We need to talk about the different scenarios. Most bullish scenario, and it's going to be very confusing. It is going to be a bit confusing. It truly is. It truly is. But I am bullish, guys, to the end of the year, despite going to, below 100K. It doesn't matter. But it's going to be it is going to be a bit hard. I think we're going to mirror a potential, impulsive move down, and then a corrective bounce, where then the price really breaks down here. But when we consider the ABC flat, because we do have an ABC flat here, guys, right? This scenario where a lot of people were like, this is not going to happen. Come on, look at where the price is, right? 128K is next. Right? What you on about here with a flat, right? Coming down to 107K. This guy's delusional, right? This guy's gone, has smoking some pot, and is really delusional, basically. This happened fast. People got hurt, and now people are mainly, in the bear market camp, right? So the range could continue for a few more weeks, guys, unfortunately. Best case scenario, after finish this structure, a relief pump is going to happen. And the relief pump will be relatively strong, in my opinion. Easily getting to the 50% Fibonacci, maybe golden pocket at 118K. I think a relief pump in this zone, we are at the last stages, as explained, of this movement down. The big move happened, guys, and now it's just getting those, people a little bit more fearful, bear market, this, that, the other, and then the relief pump, right? This is what we basically anticipated throughout yesterday's stream. Claiming the lows first, guys. We might get a relief bounce. Be cautious, we might get the low again, and then we relief. Then we get the big rally of $10,000 plus, right? So this is good, guys. This is how the market moves. It's just literally how the market moves. So, unsurprised, we get lots of, I've seen many crazy thumbnails, such as myself as well, on YouTube with the bear market, right? Bear market, guys, bear market. Is it starting? I had to get that thumbnail on, guys, with the title. I'm sorry, but we need to go with the game. We need to go with the game. Get attention. You need to get attention with these. Oh my goodness, bear market. Extreme fear. We have it. This is the golden ticket for the reversal, guys. Extreme fear. This is what we want to see. We want to see people chickening out, getting worried. I got messages today, guys, on the Telegram about de-risking my spot bags. And I'm like, no. I sold 15% of my Bitcoin holdings last week here at the Pico top. 15%, that's good. I mean, I've been buying Bitcoin for the last few years. Am I going to sell here? No. No, especially when I understand that a relief rally is going to come. I understand that a big relief rally is going to happen, guys. Okay? So, this is the level of confidence that we have, guys. When you've been charting for over 7 years now, you realize how the market moves. So we knew that this was going to happen, likely. Okay, I can't say we knew, but the probabilities were higher locally to claim the lows. Okay, so once this is finished chopping around, I would say, do we have the chance of this being the low? The chance is there, okay? Why is the chance there? Because you had a big move with high volume as a third wave, a 4 and a 5. Do we get the extra 4 and 5? I based on this structure, I want to believe so, that we do get one more lower high before getting above 116K and claim the lows, okay? But regarding spot, I'm not selling, guys. I'm not selling any more Bitcoin, especially if we drop down. Imagine selling today. I got a couple of messages, guys, today. Am I de-risking? Imagine selling here, and then you get that relief. Maybe test the lows, but then an epic relief rally later. It's like, no. We're not selling down here. Come on. The big move happened already. So anyway, it's just interesting how you see the emotions come out, guys. I do get messages and you see the emotion and it's like, yeah, this is like a full recipe for a reversal, guys. It's cooking. It's cooking right now, very soon for a reversal. So do not panic. It's all good. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and then we'll go through the different scenarios here because we need to do higher time frame, lower time frame. I'm expecting a relief rally. I do think that another lower high is very much possible. I wouldn't short when we broke the lows of the third wave, guys. This is likely going to get some kind of a bounce. Okay? In the best zone, as explained, is the only one that I'm interested in is 111 to 112K. Point of control. This is a solid level where the price can dance around. It can attempt to try and break it and fail. That's the only interesting zone for a new short. I couldn't care less if we do roll down from here and test the lows again. This is the best level that I can say for a nice big bounce for a wave 4 and then another wave 5. So not interested in aping into shorts here with bear market narrative. No way. No way. The market is cooking for a reversal, guys. So stay cautious with any late shorts. Okay. Yes, I do see a lower high, but we need to bounce a bit higher right now. It needs to bounce at least 211K or so to even consider the short at the resistance. Anyway, we're going to go through the higher time frame, guys. I think it's important. It is very important because, man, it's so incredibly bullish still on the higher time frame. And I know people are freaking out right now with the seasonality. October's down 7%. My God. Holy crap. What the heck? 17th of October, we down 7%. What happened to October seasonality? I think there's a good chance that October could end up green, guys. Considering where we are now, all the damage has been done, and it's at its last stages, regardless if we create one more low or not. The damage is done. The damage is done. I can see it in my DMs. The damage is done. People are worried. People are worried. So this is an epic sign, guys, that reversal bounce is coming soon. Not say that this is the low and we're going to bounce from here, which could happen, but a reversal is cooking, okay? So do not panic. Do not panic. And if this were to be a start of a bear market, we have an impulsive move down. What happens after a big impulsive move down? At some point, you're going to get a relief pump, a very strong relief pump. And I'll give you good news, guys, just for anybody that is saying, I'm going to sell on the next bounce. That's it. It's over, right? Ethereum's looking more bullish, by the way. We'll go through Ethereum later on. If anybody wants to sell on the next bounce, I have to say the bounce can be corrective. And it can come down later on pretty strong. But if it is going to be a bearish bounce in a wave 2, it is highly likely that at least we get to 50% Fibonacci from the highs to the lows, whenever the lows are, okay? So let's just say it's here. Very common to at least get to 50%. Even easily golden pocket, easy, maybe 7-8. Because if this is the start of the bear market in a brutal impulse, you are looking for a wave 2, and wave 2, at least most of the times, let's say 8 out of 10, gets to the 50% Fibonacci, at least. So it's a pretty nice relief rally of $10,000 almost. And if anybody wants to chicken out, I would say get chicken out at the bounce, right? Chicken out at the bounce if you wish. This, when we do take a look at the previous bull run, let's see if Tradingview wants to play ball, but Tradingview's been not working very nicely for me, unfortunately, in the last few days. I don't know what the heck's going on, guys. It's not the computer, because the computer's an absolute banger. It's a bomb. I don't know what's going on with my Tradingview, but I'm gonna have to talk to a Tradingview technician. Yeah, where were we here? We're gonna have to talk about higher time frame. Okay, we need to talk about higher time frame. Okay, a little bit of more shaky outs is possible, guys. Not saying that the low is in, but we could be very close to. Let's go through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful community. Hey, legend Mattia, we need to talk about Ethereum. Mattia, we need to talk about Ethereum as well. Go and check out Mattia, guys. CBM, absolute legend. Okay, I play tennis here in Dubai with CBM. Okay, with Mattia, he's an absolute legend. FTX and C19 wasn't as scary as this. Might sell my kidney, says James XRP. Very true. I mean, that's a good take. Any Tradingview tech in the house, says Nico. Yes. Could hit the macro golden pocket at about 96.3 with confluence at the 618 from the 126 high. Maybe. I mean, that's that would still be a pretty brutal, right? Yeah, let's talk about the different scenarios, okay? There's the most bullish one, which we are close to the low. We are the most bullish one is that the low is very, very close, and this has been the end of the correction, A, B, C flat. And by next week we might get a massive rally in one wave, like really shooting up here, and that will be the end of that, right? If we get a solid impulsive move up, from this zone in a 5-wave structure going to 117, 118k, and at some point look for a, you know, correction, then that's going to be looking pretty damn good, right? That's going to be looking pretty damn good if we get a strong move up here throughout the next week or so. I don't think it's going to be that easy. As explained, guys, regardless of creating one more low or not, the probabilities are high for a reliever. Probabilities are very high after this shaky out movement, regardless if we test the lows with a 4-5 again or not. Probabilities here for a relief and not breaking down successfully this area is very, very likely, okay? Just so you understand, based on chart analysis and based on the extreme fear that we have created with these dips. Friday drop and now the drop of today, basically testing the lows below 107k. Well, yeah, people are like, people are in doubt, guys. I do get it. It's how the market moves, right? Get everybody bullish, get everybody bearish, bullish again, bearish, and then bullish again at the highs, right? You know how it works. This is why when it's absolute euphoric peak here, my goodness, I'm so happy I sold 15%, which is not a small amount, guys. You know, this ain't 1 or 2 Bitcoin. This is, you know, selling 15% for me is a big decision, and it was actually pretty smart. And, you know, I do think that we're going to go higher, but you just need a kind of, what if this is the top? What if this is the top? Which I do not think still, guys. We need a lot of information still. But damn, you kind of feel like God when you're like, damn, I almost sold at the Pico top here. Not everything, of course. Everything would have been epic. Would have bought 80% down here, right? But we can't do that. We need to scale out. Best scenario is that we have finished an ABC flat here with one more low or not on the lower time frame. This is higher time frame, so I am aware of dead cat bounce and one more low, guys. That is totally fine. But the best case scenario is getting a strong impulse throughout next week or so, right? Maybe end of October, beginning of November. And then, you know, kind of a corrective structure and then just bang, 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 right? Something similar to what happened here, but in a bit of a larger scale, which will catch many as surprised, you know, many people surprised, right, on the move. Very, very possible. Very, very possible. When we were analyzing this last week, we understood that this would still be potentially bullish, right? This would still potentially be bullish coming down to 107k. This drop would still be macro bullish, which it is for the moment, right? So bear with me here, guys, and smash up that goddamn like button. Okay, we'll go through the lower time frames and we'll talk about Ethereum, because Ethereum looks, Ethereum looks nice. Ethereum looks nice, guys, nice. Ethereum looks very, very good. Mattia does know that Ethereum looks good. Mattia does know. CBM. Bro, sell or buy? I tell you what, I sold some Bitcoin here last week. Bro, sell or buy? I don't know. You tell me. I'll tell you an interesting zone where I would be interested in potentially shorting. That's 112k. If we do not get up there, we just bounce, we don't manage to reach it, and we roll over, I'm going to be looking for a reclaim of this low to look for longs, because I understand that a relief rally is likely to happen very soon. So yeah, and this is a little bit of what I'm looking at. Bounce 111, 112 is going to be strong resistance, guys. There's a moment of bullishness. But I would be more interested in one more low. If we do get an epic rally, okay, if we do get one more epic rally, and it does actually look pretty damn impulsive, right? Let's just get this and use a little bit of our imagination, guys, here. Okay, if we do get a pretty solid move up here like this, okay, and yeah, we do get the rejection at my favorite area. This is the most solid level of resistance. If we move impulsively up to this zone, and I can identify it looks pretty damn solid as an impulse, then yeah, I would be interested still in the short, but I would be more interested in looking for, you know, the possible long scenario. If we move down like this, well, eventually I'm going to be saying, guys, this actually looks very corrective. We're looking for the highs to be taken, and this might be the one that takes us to Valhalla, right? And everybody's like, what the heck happened, right? Something similar to what happened here, right, on Bitcoin, which just went whew, and everybody was like, whoa, where did this come from? This could still very much happen eventually. People will be surprised. So, but we need our first leg, right? We need a pretty solid pump in a 5-waver. So it's going to be important to identify the next move in the next coming days. Will it look impulsive, right? Third wave, you need to get a little correction, a big move up with high volume, you know, little shallowy corrective structure, then one more high. Perfect zone to reject on that 5th wave, maybe. Or is it going to move up in a corrective structure, right? Where we do get the move up here, bang, that's all good, nice. And after this 3-waver, if we are moving in a 3rd wave here, I would be very much wanting to short, guys, this, right? Because if we don't have the 4th wave yet, swing failure pattern is the option here, or point of control. This is going to be an interesting area. You don't want to put stop loss up here. That would be irresponsible, right? Give it, take a bit of room for stop loss. You don't want it to break above this zone. You want to chop it. Don't add to the position if you break through. This is the barrier. You can get above the barrier a little bit and chop around. That's when you want to take the decision. Stop loss, give a better room to breathe, right? Because of the choppiness. But don't put stop here, you know, but give it a bit of room, right? Or go on lower time frame, try and identify the local double tops, right? That's going to be a little bit of the plan here. If we move up in that 3rd wave, I mean, it's going to be looking very nice, because this has the potential of rejecting strongly, right? Obviously, if you claim that last higher low, it's going to be looking even better. You want to maintain that short, at least till you get down to this low. But this is the best zone. It's just the best area, guys. There's no discussion about it, right? We could relief pump all the way up here. We're reclaiming the low. Very nice. I'm not interested in any local shorts here. If you know, we've already claimed the low on Coinbase, and as we did come down here to, you know, give or take below 104k, which is on the Picasso drawing here, guys. Look at this, exactly 103, yeah, 104k basically, and the relief bounce that we're getting now, right? Damn. What can we say? What can we say, guys? What can we say? Imagine getting a drawing out of nowhere, right? I mean, something needs to make sense, right? Something has to make sense. You might think it's just a bunch of, you know, drawing astrology, right? As some people say, astrology. But the drawing was made here yesterday at this zone. I did say, guys, you know, if we do rally from here, this is a good short as well. Okay, we can't say that we didn't talk about it. We either roll down from here, but we talked about this and maybe this and then this, right? For the moment, I mean, this you get the point. The only zone that I would be interested in for the short is literally at that zone. So yeah, let's just gonna remain patiently, you know, till we actually relief all the way up there. If we roll down from here, I couldn't care less, guys. You know, just okay. I would actually even look for local double bottom. That could be interesting. Here's where it starts to be interesting for local double bottom, because the probabilities in breaking down, as mentioned, are very, very low. Probabilities in breaking down are low. We're getting a nice relief pump here. We need to talk about Ethereum. So as the thumbnail says and the title, bear market talk. We are, you know, it's not a moment to panic, guys. Okay, it's not a moment to panic. Panic is very much across the border already, and we are mainly looking for reversal signs for you know, entering into next week. Right now we're getting this relief rally, which is, you know, it's just normal price action, right? So anyway, let's go through the comment section, guys. It is Friday. Sorry for the late live stream. The gold meme coin is dropping. The gold meme coin, is gold dropping? You serious? Gold is dropping. It did get a little dip. It's actually dipped quite a bit today. It's getting a little bit of a dip today, gold. People are selling gold to buy fart coin and Shiba Inu, guys. I think, you know, people that have bought gold in the last year are actually selling it to buy, you know, to buy fart coin, maybe even Dogecoin potentially. Maybe Dogecoin, guys. Maybe people are actually dumping their gold and they're buying Dogecoin. It's very possible. Maybe. Just closed my short from 124k. What an absolute legend, Colin. Congrats, my man. Very good job. Very, very good job. Man, why did the silver fall 4%? Maybe because they're buying crypto. They're selling their heavy metals to buy cryptos. Imagine selling your gold, physical gold, to buy Shiba Inu. Yeah, I would understand Bitcoin, okay, but not the rest of crypto, guys. Not even Ethereum or Chainlink or XRP. There might be someone that would be selling their gold to buy XRP. XRP army, they have a hard head, guys. Their head is very hard. I've spoken to some XRP fanatics, and they're very interesting characters. They're not to blame anybody here that loves XRP, okay? But yeah. Take buy now, says CR7. I'll tell you what, this hurting my feelings, says Chunky Gorilla. XRP all day, baby, says Rocky B. I know there's some, you know, XRP fanatics out there. Andy, please show a target on Solana. Do you think we will go to all-time high? I think the altcoin recovery is bubbling up, guys. We do know that, you know, I am bullish on Ethereum, okay? I am bullish on Ethereum. I am long on Ethereum. And the thing about Ethereum, nothing has changed on Ethereum. Ethereum on Coinbase did not test the lows, guys. It did not test the lows. I think it has a good chance that it might not even test those lows on Coinbase. There is that chance, guys. Ethereum, Bitcoin's tested the lows of last Friday's dump on Coinbase, and Ethereum hasn't. Ethereum's actually looking a little bit more tough. this time with the dumps. Not doing a bad job. It's doing pretty okay. Anyway, Bitcoin's getting that relief rally at the moment. It is getting above the Friday lows. So the successful breakdown theory that we had yesterday, legends, hear me out, smash up the like button, god damn it. Right away, legends. Almost 600 people and not even 200 likes, guys. What the heck? We talk about probabilities here. We don't know exactly what the price is going to do, but if we talk about not a successful breakdown and we're currently just testing those lows now, based on scenarios that we talk about, purely on Elliott wave theory, volume, fear, liquidity, and we don't even get 200 likes, guys. La puta madre, no? I'm going to start swearing in Spanish, guys, because beat up the like button. Anyway, Solana, let's continue focusing on Bitcoin, please, and Ethereum. We haven't even gone through Ethereum. I'm so slow, guys. Maybe people are not smashing the like button because I'm talking too much BS. And I'm not even finishing with Bitcoin on the higher time frame scenarios. Like, smash as Nico. Always liked, fella. Lars X, much love to you, brother. Thank you very much. Alts doesn't have bottom. They just free diving forever. Yeah, you wait till people sell their gold and start buying altcoins. Altcoins are going to fly. This is actually a good sign. People are selling gold, guys, to buy altcoins. Then we're going to fly. You know, this is over a $20 trillion asset. Wait till people sell 5 trillion and put it into crypto. Forgot to like, my bad, much love. Nah, they just greedy, that's why, says Staffer1. I hit the like button, much love, that Theodore. Man, are you for real or just joking? Is that on the gold? People selling gold. People actually leaving the stream now because, yeah, I'm taking the piss now. I don't think so. To buy Bitcoin, I would say maybe, for sure. I mean, there's too much. There's big institutions on Bitcoin already. So anyway, are you for real or are you just joking? Anyway, I just sold my gold for ice cream, says Devil. Oh man, we have a good time overall, guys. We do have a good time. Okay, we do have a good time here. All right. We need to have a good time because I'm in this boat, guys. I'm in the Titanic here with you as well. Okay. I got lots of altcoins that look like crap. Okay. Luckily, I didn't do any silly leverage trading and adding to position or any of that. I got stopped out of an ICP trade, which was, you know, I was open about it. It was a little scratch. I know a lot of people got hurt here, and we are here just to, you know, have a good time as well. As we analyze the scenarios, the probabilities, we are here to have a laugh, okay? And this whole thing about people selling their gold to buy ice cream, to buy fart coin, Shiba Inu, right? I sold my gold to put it into Umbrella. Yeah, you are taking the piss now because I got hurt on that one as well, okay? But Umbrella must have been about 1.2%. I think it was actually a bit more than 1% of my portfolio, and I lost it all. So ICP, I'm taking a pretty nasty hit on ICP, guys, okay? But we're going to hold on. It either goes to zero or to hero. But let me be straight here with you. Most of my portfolio is Bitcoin eventually. I did manage to buy Bitcoin cheap. Ethereum as well. I've actually made more on Bitcoin than Ethereum. Ethereum hasn't done that much. It's done about 3x max to all-time high from the lows. Well, 3-4. Yeah, about 3-4x. From the $1,000 range, right? And then Chainlink, which is still very much in the green. And then, you know, as mentioned, I have 20% of silly money, which is pretty high, guys, and it does hurt. Okay, but that's, everybody has their responsibility with altcoins. I like to you know, this whole altcoin fiesta is a pure gamble, guys. Let's be honest. It's a pure gamble. Will the projects deliver? Will people build on, these different ones? Ethereum, Solana, and BNB have been the strongest ones. We know that. Tron did pretty well. Then we go down the rabbit hole throughout the top 100. Near Protocol, is that going to do good? ICP, Hedera Hashgraph has had some movements. Polkadot, people got wrecked on Polkadot, basically. Polkadot never delivered, and it was such a hyped project on in the previous cycle, and they're just building and building. Yeah, Polkadot has been one of the worst performers, right? From one of the strongest and potential biggest projects in crypto. You never know at the end of the day, guys, right? We never know. So you need to have a small percentage to throw the dart, right? Throw the dart and see, I like this project. Let's see if it does something. But the king is the king, guys. The king is Bitcoin, and that's where most of and I'm Ethereum is very, very solid as well. Eventually, right? So I'm in the same boat, guys. I know some people have gone more heavy into altcoins, and that unless you bought Zcash that did a 5x in the last few weeks, or I don't know, some other ones, or got early into AI cryptos in 2024, which the pump was fast. I think most of the people just buy the hype, right? There's so many AI cryptos that have gone down the toilet. Down the toilet, guys. How many AI projects now are just down the toilet? And I think people bought the hype. I'm sure a lot of people are down heavily on their altcoin portfolio, right? Like many, but I know how brutal they can be, and we need to stay heavy on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and my biggest altcoin holding more than Ethereum is Chainlink. Chainlink is something special, something that could really change blockchain technology, right? Well, basically integrating real world data into the blockchain with verification. I mean, that's the one that I'm heavy. If Chainlink went to zero, then wow, that would be a big knock. That would be a big knock for me. Big knock. But if it gets these dips down to $15, $16, $10, still okay. Still okay. Nice BO is a good buy, says Matty. Hot hair risers. Dot will pump. They changed the tokenomics. 2 billion max supply. Maybe yes. I think I do have some Polkadot. I need to check one of the wallets that I have. I'm pretty sure that I do have some Polkadot, but I think it's not that much. So that's why, if it would have been a lot, I would have known exactly where I have it. This is what happens when you've been, over 7 years right now in the crypto space. I don't know how many wallets I've got. So there has been moments, even on exchanges, guys. I opened an exchange and I have $30,000 on exchange, which is pretty cool, right? I mean, this is the thing. When you are doing okay, man, I need to go organize where I got my stuff. I know where most of my Bitcoin and Ethereum are, right? And Chainlink. But this is what happens when you've been so many years in crypto, right? You just have exchanges and wallets where you just you create, and that you have 20 or 30. Bought more ICP at 2.4 on the drop. That's my man. No financial advice, never here on the channel, but that's conviction right there. Let's go. Dips are for buying, they say. Well, we got an epic one. Only 80%, minus 80%, says Apua Putaya. Yeah, I know. I get you, my man. A lot of my altcoins are down the toilet, okay? But the big stacks are doing pretty good, which is outperforming eventually all of that downside on altcoins. Thank God for that. Smash the like button. Aditya, much love to you, brother. Anyway, we're losing focus here. I'm losing focus, guys. I'm going through the comment section, having a good time. Monero is the future. I love Monero. I did a lot of research on Monero, guys, the last few months, and Monero is a beast. It actually looks pretty damn good on the chart, guys. I think it's doing something very similar that XRP did. Monero is an absolute beast. Yeah, this is, for me, this is without a doubt a very, very bullish chart. I think Monero is literally going to fly because it's the only most solid privacy coin. Apparently, Bitcoin had to be what Monero is, but Bitcoin is not private at all. It's less private even than some, you know, financial tools that we have currently. Monero is extremely private. The main, if you know, most of you do know that XMR, which is Monero, has been delisted on many exchanges. Most of the exchanges, I would say. A lot of the exchanges, except for the bad boys, right? I think it might be still on KuCoin. I know they got it off Kraken, Binance, and all of these different big ones, Coinbase. But Monero, the main reason why they are delisting this one on exchanges is because as soon as it leaves the exchange and you do a transaction later on, they have lost track of the Monero. They don't know where you've sent it, how much you've sent, and who you sent it to. Right? It's a complete privacy. They do know the transaction out of the exchange, and of course, if you've done a KYC on an exchange, I'm not sure if I'm going to get into trouble, guys, but by me sharing this information, because this is like the ultimate privacy. You know, nobody knows. Once you do a couple of transactions on a wallet with Monero, nobody knows. No, you can't track it, guys. Its technology is seriously impressive. This is why the exchanges are delisting it, because they can't follow the track after you've done that transaction. And I think Monero is, and people want privacy at the end of the day as well. And with blockchain technology, most of the cryptos don't have that privacy right now with your IP address and, you know, transactions, timing and everything. It's pretty easy to identify if you've stolen any Bitcoin, or if you sent Bitcoin that you know, and you're living in a country that you need to pay lots of tax, right? And you're trying to avoid it, right? They try and get the bad guys. With Bitcoin, it's nowadays it's impossible. It's impossible with Bitcoin, XRP, and all of these different blockchain, Ethereum. But with with Monero, it is. It's the privacy coin to perfection. And I think it's going to do very well, because at the end of the day, people do they appreciate the privacy, right? They do appreciate privacy. And do some research, guys. You know, if you find out how the technology works on XMR, Monero, I did a lot of research the last few months, and it's pretty damn interesting how the technology works. You send wallet, you can send $1 million to another Monero wallet. It won't show the address from where it's sent from, the quantity, or who you sent it to, which is pretty damn good. People want privacy as well, right? Isn't Litecoin good for privacy also? No, Litecoin is a fork from the Bitcoin blockchain, so apparently not, Nico. Litecoin is not private at all. Not at all. Governments don't want privacy. Well, this is why most of the exchanges have delisted, because I think they had the government going back behind them and saying, you need to delist Monero or I'm taking you down, right? Why buy Bitcoin? Might as well stay in gold and silver, lol. They probably buy some Alra, to be honest. The thing is, gold has gone through the roof already, okay? Gold is, I would say, gold is close to peaking out. Could be close to peaking out. Might have a rally to 5K. Maybe it gets to 5,000. Maybe it does. But I can tell you that there's a good chance that gold, will enter a bear market. Will enter a large correction. It will peak out at some point. It will peak out soon. So, I mean, this thing about going all in into gold right now, it's not the best moment. I bought some, not that much, but I bought some a bit of gold back in 2019 in this area. I was liking the round formation, bear market, nice floor, and I actually bought some physical gold and silver here. Silver at $14 an ounce and gold at 1,400. Not considering selling because it's just not that much, but not the best moment to ape into gold right now. These are signs that there's something going to happen, guys, right? People are late to the party. When you see the gold chart do this, it means that something is breaking in the financial system. Something is breaking, and this means that it's late to get in. As mentioned, I do believe that the United States will do whatever it takes to protect the dollar, to keep it as the world reserve currency and to maintain it strong, at least for another decade or so. And that will bring horrible consequences, of course, because there'll be not that much money printing. There'll be interest rates still being high. They might take it down. There might be a little bit of money printing short term, but I don't know. I have that feeling, right? When the gold chart went absolutely ballistic the last time, it was throughout the, financial crisis, of course, of 2008. And then, got this into this big bear market. But, that's just my opinion, right? Right. This is a hockey stick right now. And these hockey sticks on the chart do peak out at some point and enter a bear market. So there's nothing to be aping in right now on gold. Yeah, you might get the last bit of rally, but I think gold will enter a bear market eventually, and give or take the next year or so. So yeah, it's super strong. It does still have a lot of room to the upside, but it will turn around. Gold is in the euphoria phase, not the best time to buy now, Devil says. There you have it. It's just nothing goes up forever, right? So Devil is here, the legend himself. Go and check out Devil, guys, if you haven't already. He's an absolute legend. He did an epic live stream today. What about Fowler and KDA? It's our last time hero. Please TA about Fowler, Andy, bro. Fowler Network. I haven't even checked it, guys, but I do have some Fowler still. I did luckily take, I actually made profit on this one, guys. You guys know, because this is one of the only cryptos, my God, one of the only cryptos that I managed to profit a little bit. Not much because I'm holding the rest of the bag, but the idea here on Fowler was to buy in this zone and get out as soon as we get above this zone, over 50%, which just barely was a 4x. So I did about a 2x of my money here, but I kind of gave it back to ICP, so not really much. But yeah, Fowler Network just getting below the lows here of the bear market. So hopefully we do get that recovery and close a weekly candle above the zone, above the lows, and get some kind of a recovery here. But what can we say, guys? What can we say? There's no TA to do on this. We lost the lows of a big range of the last few years. Now it's just holding till it reverses, right? There's no TA to do here, unfortunately. Anyway, let's continue with Bitcoin, guys. Let's continue with Bitcoin. I am bullish on Ethereum. I think most of you know. If you want to trade Ethereum, Bitcoin, guys, we've got some great deals down below on the exchanges. Bluffin, BTCC right now is taking a good runner. I see a lot of people interested in BTCC. You've got some great deals down below, okay? Bluffin, BTCC, great for trading. And if you do a minimum deposit, we'll get you into the VIP group, which I'm sharing my trading scenarios. And trading scenario is, we need to talk about Ethereum, because Ethereum's in the juicy spot right now. Bitcoin, not quite yet confident. I do think we do have a little bit of time and a bit of a more range and levels. a little bit of ground formation before we go epic long, right? Because I am looking for an epic long on Bitcoin, guys, just not quite yet in. Which I will be informing, of course, the VIP and the pro community. Okay, if you're interested in that pro community, Devil has been very active today. You got the middle link down below. Okay, join the Legends community, guys. If you want to join the Telegram community, where Devil is very, very active and shares a lot of education levels, scenarios. I do as well. Okay. Anyway, Bitcoin. This has the potential of bottoming out in this zone. Okay. Yeah, we could hit 100K. We could hit 99, 98K. It is possible. It is possible. I'm saying that a successful breakdown from here is unlikely. Doesn't mean that we cannot revisit the lows. We can do so. I'm actually expecting the lows to be revisited again. Okay. After this relief rally. Okay. If we do get a larger rally of a few $1,000s, I do expect another low, guys, based on the structure that we formed from the rejection of all-time high. So, but after this, after all of this noise and this fear, what is going to be important is understanding the relief rally. The most bullish scenario is that we move up very impulsively. We move up in a 5-wave structure very impulsively, and then we correct down, we form a little bit of a correction rangy formation, which is going to be very, very good to get into long positions. But we need a big sign of strength first of all, right? First sign of strength, we need it to the upside, and then we need to look at the correction later on, right? It's going to take a bit of time. We can look at the 15-minute time frame as well in the next coming days. We will look for the 15-minute sign of strength, because inside of a big 5-wave move up, if it were to be the case, there will be 5 waves on the 15 minutes inside of this wave right over here. And we want to anticipate the next leg up on the 3rd wave, or the C wave. So that's the wave that we are going to try and spot in the next coming days, which, you know, I think we will manage to catch it at some point, right? But we need a bit of a sign of strength, unless we catch a double bottom, maybe. You don't know. You need to figure that out joining the Legends Pro community, because we are looking for those scenarios, but not just quite yet, right? Not quite yet. So the bullish case is getting an impulse, very strong, and we correct down throughout, you know, the end or beginning stages of November to then get rally, right, and break out from all-time high. That would be epic, right? Well, we need the 5-wave move up here after, you know, forming this choppiness here at the low 100K levels, right? Which, you know, is going to come to an end stage at some point, okay? And people that are trying to catch the bottom, maintain risks, okay? It could dip down below 100K. It has the potential, okay? We are looking for another low. Maybe that low has the power to get a little squeeze down to 100K. So just be aware of that, all right? Don't use too much leverage. Use small percentage. We can always add on a sign of strength later on, guys, okay? This is going to take weeks to develop. I would rather be in a small position down here, and once we get the sign of strength and the correction, add to that position very aggressively, right? That's going to be the overall plan. Till that happens, we might be entering into a bear market, guys. I don't know. I don't think so, but play the game responsibly, right? Do not get hurt. The most bearish case scenario, locally, if we do not enter a bear market, the most bearish case scenario for this corrective structure is getting a WXY, which this is your wave W in the flat, which you have a flat right over here, and you're going to form a wave X, right? Let's just imagine that you get that wave X. It rallies significantly to 116K, 117K. It forms a bit of a 3-wave structure, right? And it kind of peaks out, right? And then gets a move down, almost claims this low. Oh, that's not going to be looking good. There is the possibility still of forming a larger correction, unfortunately, throughout the next 1 to 2 months. I think people will throw the towel here. if we get a bounce in the next, 1 to 2 weeks, right, give or take, and this bounce kind of fails, we could be looking for a zigzag down here, because you have a flat in wave W, zigzag or any corrective structure in wave X that can go to the 50%, 7, 8 Fibonacci. It can go wherever it wants, really. There's no real targets here. We're just going to have to look at the waves, how they form, to spot that top in formation and local resistance levels. But it could form a zigzag down, right? This is going to be a bit tricky, because as you have an impulse down here and a correction here, it might kind of mirror the potential of this being a wave 1, right? Wave 2. Oh my goodness, this is it, right? As explained a few weeks ago when we're correcting here, we did say that this is unlikely going to be the low. This move down that we had, and then we were rallying like this, everybody excited with October. I was very, very skeptical about it, guys. You know that. That's why we really seriously talked about the bearish case, which is coming down from here, guys, to 107K, right? Ruin the party. The chart's telling us that this could happen, which it did last Friday, right? So, yeah, it's going to be... we're going to have to go level by level here, guys. I wish trading was that easy, but it's not. We really need to go level to level. But this would be an interesting scenario, because the rally that we had from April to end of August, that all-time high, we got loads of time still, guys. We got loads of time still to be dancing around and chopping and even go to lower prices. Maybe we formed the first wave in a flat in wave W, and this is going to take weeks still. Pump. This bull market sucks. Oh yes, we're back. Oh, we're not back. Bear market. Market is here to absolutely destroy your emotions, and then when it does reverse very strongly, then you basically out, right? So this would be the most bearish case scenario. WXY, but because your wave W is a flat, you can form a zigzag on your wave Y. So this is coming into December, right? Even not only November. This might take a little bit long. This could take long, guys. It could be brutal, and maybe the 4-year cycle is broken. I know, I wouldn't be too fond about it. I am a 4-year cycle theory guy. This whole thing about the 4-year cycle theory is broken, and we're going to pump into Q1 of 2026. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to have to really go level by level, because I mean, I would be worried a little bit, guys, if we move up here, right? We after the relief rally, that is very likely going to happen, guys, by next week or maybe the other week, after testing those lows and getting people absolutely exhausted, and not really believing that a reversal is going to happen. Once it happens, I do have a feeling that this is not going to be the low, and we're going to pump here in an impulse. I don't think this is going to happen, but we're going to have to go level by level. If we see the long opportunities, we're going to have to take them. We're going to have to take profits on the way up, because a corrective structure here is possible. You form a 3-wave move up. It looks like we're going to rally. Here we come, and then we roll back down, and we end up building a corrective structure here. 3-waver. This movement down, getting close to the last higher low. That's not a good sign. This is why we identified yesterday, well, in the last few days, that this is not bullish, guys. This structure that we had on the dead cat bounce, I'm sorry, it's not bullish. We're likely going to test the lows. It's a poor relief rally. There's nothing bullish about this movement, and this is what we try and explain. If you get that rally, dead cat bounce, 3-wave structure, and this third wave does this to come almost to hit the lows, that's not good. For this to be a 1-2-1-2, low probability, coming that close to this low. So yeah, this is likely going to be corrective, and we're likely going to come down to the lows of Friday, which we did. So you get the point here, right? You know where I'm coming from here, right? You get that bounce here, you form a higher low, and then you come close to that low. This is not going to be looking good. It's going to be looking bad. And we will expect a move down to claim the local lows. If we form this kind of price action, I'll be happy to come out and say, guys, I'm actually going to de-risk. I'm actually gonna, take some profits here on spot. If we can identify the same thing that we've identified on Bitcoin the last few days, which is this scenario, right? This is not corrective. We either move down from here or bounce and move down later, right? If we get this 3-wave move up and that movement down claims the last higher low, almost claiming the last higher low, it's BS. This is not bullish. This is going to come down. So if we identify this structure, just because we have an impulsive move down here, man, this could be a wave 1 and this could be your wave 2. And we know how wave 3s are, right? They can be bloody. They can be brutal. Maybe that's it. 4-year cycle. Maybe this was the top. But we need this relief pump that we are going to get, guys. We are going to get a relief pump. Will it be impulsive or will it be corrective? Well, this will be known in the next episode, right? This will be known as we build up the charts. And the thing is, the bearish case, the bullish case scenario, which is a WXY, will literally mirror a possible bearish outcome, this is why the market will make it that hard. It will make it hard. You might think corrective structure, and then you're rolling down here. Oof. But you know what? If you do break down here in a zigzag, and then you get this relief rally to claim this lower high, oh my, this is going to be it, guys. Super cycle it is. Super cycle it is, guys. 3-wave up, boom, you get them. 3-wave down. If the third wave fails to break down to lower levels, I'm going to try to exit maybe 10-20% of my portfolio when we identify this being very corrective. It doesn't matter being 110k or 100, doesn't matter. We need to get out. I don't want to be involved if we do lose the lows. If we do break down in the third wave, I'm really going to seriously take into consideration exiting, guys. Significant amount. We'll see, guys. We'll see, right? So yeah, this is possible. Okay, just want to let you know that this is possible, but we'll identify this the moment that we realize that this is a large WXY. It's when this move happens, when you have the 3-wave down to test the lows again, and the third wave fails to continue down, and you get that rally already overlapping the last lower high. This is the bingo moment. Bingo, that's it. Corrective structure. And I'm gonna have to seriously look for long positions in this case, but that's probably going to take several weeks to happen. It might not happen, but it's just one scenario that we consider, right? Then of course you got the sideways WXY, which you form a flat, you get a zigzag up, and then you just come down, come up, come down, up, and you form a triangle structure, and then you fly throughout the end of the year. We will spot these different formations as we do evolve, right? As the price action gives us the information. With the information that we have currently, guys, on Bitcoin, as explained, there is a good chance for a relief rally with one more low or without another low. The chances of getting a strong relief rally to the end of October are very, very high. So I can just say that I'm just a messenger here, guys. With one more low or not, there's a good chance that we get this relief rally, to the end of October. Very likely getting above, the lower highs here. Liquidity is building, guys. People are flipping very bearish, and we will not enter a bear market leaving all of this liquidity to the upside, I'm telling you. So yeah, just sit down, get your cup of coffee, enjoy the ride. It was pretty funny, guys, today. I want to show you the DMs, but I just don't want to show you the names. I actually got 2 DMs today asking the same question. Am I de-risking my spot bags? Extreme fear on the game, guys. This is like perfect, guys. I can already tell you the probabilities are high for a big, strong relief soon, okay? Give or take 1-2 weeks. Chopping the low again or not. I think another chop to the low is likely, okay, based on this, okay? So yeah, be cautious. Testing, you know, below 100k might happen. It might happen. It might just get that last squeeze down. But a relief rally is to take out these lower highs of last week. It's just yeah, of this week actually is very, very strong. That's high probability, and the simple reason is you already had the big move here, right? 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, another 4 and 5 maybe, and then the relief. And you know what is common in from an impulse, despite of the movement up, the bounce up, guys, despite of the bounce up being corrective or impulsive, it doesn't matter. We'll figure that out later on. What is highly likely is to get above the 4th wave. This is the most common area, at least, to take after an impulsive move down. At least above the 4th wave is extremely common, guys. Anybody that has you know, some basic knowledge on Elliott wave theory. Matter of fact, when we take a look at this structure where we did long the 5th wave, okay, I mean, this did pump a little bit higher than expected, but I wasn't looking for a short here as we were pumping aggressively. 1 2 3 4 5, at least get above that 4th wave is very, very common after a 5-wave structure. So that's in the lower time frame, right? You can see here that that's a 5-wave move down, right? We longed this last week on Thursday. We got into a long. Shorts were interesting, but damn. And we were, you know, we were very interested in a lower high here, but this was just a bit aggressive. But anyway, this good support, good 5th wave ending. Nice little long trade. We got above the 4th wave, which was the main target. If we go higher, then that's good. We take some extra profits. But this is on the lower time frame. So when you zoom out in a larger structure, you understand that, yeah, we literally got the 3rd wave here. So it's 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. When all of this, you know, fear decides to end at some point, the relief rally is likely going to get above 116k. So yeah, just take that into notice if you wish. Guys, short now, says Boomer. Is it okay to short resistance now? I think we've failed to reclaim the 117k level, right? Kind of. Yeah. Did say it could act as resistance, get a little fake reclaim. The only level that I'm interested in a potential short, guys, I've explained this at the beginning of the stream. It's basically with the same drawing yesterday. Move down to 104k. Get the bounce. The only level that I would be happy to re-enter the short on this downtrend is at the value area low golden pocket zone. This little order block area. Longs are very difficult, of course. Longs are very difficult. You know, you're kind of going against the local trend, which is down for the last 2 weeks, right? So, yeah, longing is complicated at the moment, guys. Longing is complicated. There are some levels, but they're not getting respected. Longing is... I haven't longed yet Bitcoin. But I am interested. I'm very interested in longing, of course, but we're patient, we wait. For the moment, the bounces are weak. There's a lot of resistance. I would be actually interested in getting into another short in this area. as explained, as a 4-5. It's the biggest resistance zone. Point of control value area low, lower highs. It makes sense for another lower high at least, because we only just claimed the lows of... We've only just claimed the lows once. And when you have your structure here building up in a 1-2, 1-2, right? Because you have the drop, the bounce, the drop, the bounce. There could be a discussion here if there is a 1-2, 1-2 here as well. You've only claimed it today. So getting a relief rally and moving down again is likely still. Okay, but the best level is undoubtedly is because the problem is of shorting down here. I mean, yeah, you can short, be defensive. Don't trap yourself into adding to shorts and stuff like that, guys. You're going to get hurt. You can do that with 2-3%, of course. That I do that sometimes, but I'm well grounded on my risk management. But I know a lot of people would just do it with, 50% of their account or below their account. They'll just go, they'll go short till they haven't got any dry powder and the price is just going against them. And they'll be like, holy smokes, I'm underwater now on my short. Don't do that, guys. Don't trade like that. You're going to get burnt. So yeah, I'm just going to wait patiently. If we go lower, we'll be looking for reversal signs. And if we do bounce, the only interesting bounce for me, resistance area for a short, guys, I cannot stress this enough. It's here. Not interested here in this zone. I mean, unless you go to the lower time frame, you're looking at VWAP and stuff like that. That's totally fine. I need to get back into scalping and looking at local levels. I'm not sure if VWAP did much today. I think we got a little, we just got a little rejection from VWAP today. 2 rejections on VWAP. Good VWAP. VWAP's pretty solid on the lower time frame for little scalps, little movements of $1,000. You can catch this pretty nicely. We're above the VWAP right now, which is interesting. It depends on your trading style, right? I'm really looking for higher time frame, bigger moves, to be honest. I've gone through all the stress on scalping for the last few years. I'm a little bit of a boring trader, but I need to get back into scalping and day trading because it's actually entertaining. It's just, it requires a lot of computer time and charting time. Not that I do that much here, but I like scalping. I need to get more into scalping. But I've lost the touch. I'm not in the zone at all, guys. I'm not in the zone in scalping and day trading at all for many months. But I need to get back into it. You still didn't analyze Ethereum. Let's talk about Ethereum. I think Ethereum is looking relatively juicy, guys. In a nutshell, I think Ethereum is not going to get down to 3,200. I do believe that Ethereum is in a wave 4 formation here, and that we are looking for a reversal to all-time high, which is going to take many weeks. It's probably going to take many weeks. I don't expect this to go to all-time high in the next 2-3 days, but we are holding where we need to hold, which is 382 to 50% and this order block. Basically, I want to see this zone hold, which it is. There is a cheeky scenario that actually gets down beneath this low, which I am concerned about, but I don't think it's going to. I mean, obviously the best longing zone would be coming back down to the low here, guys. This is the kind of falling knife that I would want to long, with invalidation at 3,000, below 3,200. Either SFP from this low or this low. These are 2 SFP levels that I am willing to take. Because if you do lose this level, then I'll be happy to get stopped out. And but the projection is pretty pretty large for the next few weeks, right? If you really, even though if you're long in here, you know, I'm looking for a break to all-time high, but we need to understand that there is a chance that the price can get down to this low again, just because you could form a zigzag move down here. I think that for me it was low probabilities, because you have a zigzag, double zigzag up here in your wave X, so wave X, wave W, and the only potential there is get that zigzag on your wave Y here to get beneath this low and maybe tap even this low, which would be, I don't think it's going to happen, but obviously with Bitcoin going slightly lower, Ethereum is holding stronger than Bitcoin, which I was anticipating anyway. But it would be the only most bearish case scenario locally here, which I think has the potential of not happening. Ethereum's doing a pretty good job in holding this zone, which is this you know, slightly higher time frame order block area. You know, it's good support right there. It is holding, really chopping with this movement down. I think there's a good chance that Ethereum can hold here and get to this lower high, and then we'll go from there, right? Other type of corrective structures that could happen on Ethereum here is this has a zigzag down and possibly a flat here, and then you just continue for another 2 more weeks or so. You got zigzag down, you complete a flat, and then here, you know, maybe you form another flat and then you move up, or maybe you form a triangle into November and then you move up. I don't know, but it's just unlikely to go to much lower levels. I think this order block zone is gonna hold nicely. Yeah, we have the risk of testing the lows, but that would be like max pain locally. Eventually, if Bitcoin gets to 100k, or maybe even dips below 100k, eventually Ethereum has a chance to do that. I would just be aggressive, guys. I'm seriously will be aggressive to long here. Yeah, you know, I would be happy to risk 3% of my capital with stop loss, you know, below 3,200, 100 zone. I'll do a very well calculated risk on that trade, but everything points out that all of this movement down from all-time high is corrective. And you know the problem with wave 4s, they can be extremely complex. Wave 4s can be very complex. They can be a massive headache when we consider Elliott wave theory, because wave 4s usually are, you know, not, well, usually, yeah, they do form WXYs. And when you consider the higher time frame, maybe Bitcoin is also forming a wave 4 here, because this is a 5-4-5-4-5 into the bull run. And fourth waves are a big headache. This, you know, can be that fourth wave as well. This one was a fourth wave. This is absolute insanity when you consider Elliott wave theory, and it just takes a long time. And nobody gives a fuck about all of this nonsense. It's just a bunch of noise. But this was very, very calculated WXY structure. I explained this the other day. You had a zigzag here, a flat here, and then a little triangle in this zone, finishing your Y wave, and then, you know, up we go to Valhalla. So we're kind of in the middle stages here on Ethereum, on a very, very complex headache WXY structure, in my opinion. There's nothing bearish about this movement down. And yeah, of course, we have the potential of hitting this low, but that would just to complete that zigzag, get a little bit shaky. That would be like max shaky, worried scenario, dropping down another $300-400. We would be concerned, but I would be ready, guys. This is one of those scenarios that I'm happy to catch the low. I mean, this is me, guys. I'm managing risk. I'm doing myself. You do you. I'll do me. And of course, you know, don't follow a random guy on YouTube, such as myself. You know, just take it as information, take it as education, take it as my personal opinion, and manage risk, right, accordingly. Elliott wave theory is used in combination with volume profiles, fib levels, support and resistance. So combining it with confluence makes it very powerful. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Elliott wave theory, but I guess it's because they don't understand it. You are a great at wave theory. Is it better than volume profile or liquidity levels or fib levels or support resistance or market cipher? I mean, you can use a combination of everything. You can use a combo of everything. Yesterday, it was mainly because of Elliott wave theory that we could anticipate, based on the dead cat bounce, that we were likely going to take out the lows on Coinbase or on spot, right? We talked about there's high probability, guys, regardless if we relief rally and take these lower highs at 114K, that the probabilities are that, yeah, this downtrend is likely to continue. If you're looking for longs, you're looking for scalp little longs locally here. You want to get in, want to get out. You know, I mentioned this in the pro community. If you got into this long, take it as a scalp, take profits. We bounced $2,000. Get out, because you know this is likely going to come down to the lows in the next coming days. It was yesterday, actually, well, early this morning, sorry. But you know, you might think, well, okay, the main high probability outcome here that we were going to come down and test the lows here at 107K, below 107K, was mainly Elliott wave theory. Then, of course, you can use other tools. And funny enough, we had lots of longs entering. Okay, looking at the order flow. I mean, some people don't. When you take a look at order flow throughout the last few days, when we were in this range, there were lots of longs entering in these areas. Lots of longs entering here. Okay, and I mean, you can see that on the CVD divergence as well. You know, we were actually forming some bearish CVD divergence. Man, if this wants to load or not. Okay, local bearish CVD divergence, right? Where you have, okay, these higher highs on the CVD. You got lower highs on CVD right there. You can actually detect them as you go. But on the order flow, you basically can see how many millions are entering, right? You can see lots. Look at these spikes here. It was absolutely crazy on Bybit in the yellow here. Also on USDT on Bybit. You're actually having some pretty aggressive higher highs here on the CVD. Just about on US dollar tether, right? Lower highs on the price action. You know, you're getting some massive longs entering here in the yellow, as you can see. And this is already a little bit of a warning sign. You got lower highs on price action. Whoever's long in here is not doing a great job, right? You're getting absorbed. So, and on order flow, you can actually see it. You can see how there's many millions entering here on the order flow, basically, right? In this case, it's XO chart. So lots of longs entering, which is not good. Which and looking at Elliott wave theory, the probabilities were really to roll over anyway at some point, based on this, guys. 3-wave up, down, almost hitting the low. Yeah, there's nothing good about this. We either go down from here or we pump, take out these highs and go down later. So it was what we were looking at here yesterday. Time to go back to meme season. I took 55% of my holdings. I'm relieved. I've been telling everyone about this crash. It has happened. I took 55% of my holdings. I'm relieved. Very good job, my man. Very good job. Yeah, I did ride a little bit down the Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything. Okay, but I did take profit. I did sell 15% of my Bitcoin up here, 20% of Ethereum at all-time high. We're just gonna have to, yeah, for the moment, it's not over yet, guys, even though this could extend for a few more weeks. Not enough information to call this the start of the bear market, okay? Not enough information. Masacro, my man. Está haciendo el mismo patrón del 5 de junio a 22 de junio. ¿Qué opinas? ¿Cómo estás, amigo? DJ Massacre. It's doing the same pattern from the 5th to the 22nd of June. Let's take a look at that. Why not? Let's take a look at that. Is that... ¿Hablas de Ethereum o de Bitcoin? ¿Ethereum o Bitcoin? Masacro. Mismo patrón del 5 de junio al 22 de junio. Esto es esta acción del precio. Más o menos. So. Masacro here is saying, are we doing the same formation as here? Not exactly the same. I would say, I mean, this was clearly a corrective structure. I think what we were looking at here was it a zigzag, flat, zigzag down? I can't remember this, but yeah, we were looking at this being corrective, very, very likely. I do remember now. Yeah, I do remember this pattern. We were looking at this to be corrective back in the day because we had this movement down, up, down and up. We couldn't label this as a fourth wave because we overlapped this pivot and we didn't have a contracting diagonal available, right? It had to be expanding, but your wave 5 was smaller than your wave 3, but we were looking at all of this to be corrective structure. And despite taking out the lows later, we ended up, taking out the highs again. So this time is a little bit different because we got an impulsive move down. And now the overall question is this a flat or was this the top and we formed an impulse down, our first impulse down? I'm still in the camp that this is not the top because of this 3-wave up. So it's everything's looking good. However, it's going to take a long time here. We rallied from April to August, $50,000. Man, this needs a multi-monthly correction, maybe, right? This is why for this to be the low and go to Valhalla I didn't like it. I was very vocal about this. I don't want the price to go up here to all-time high, guys, because it's not gonna end up well. This needs time. This needs time. Needs time to develop. And going from here to all-time high was a bad sign. It was a potential bad sign, which eventually came to fruition, guys. It did come to fruition in the end. And I had to sell some Bitcoin up here, guys. You had to sell some, right? Anyway, legends, it is Friday. Thanks for the chatting and talk. You're the man, Leviland. Much love. Patrón, ¿cómo estás? BTC, Masacro. Más o menos. Amigo, espero que estés bien. Much love to everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Sign up to Weeks. You got some great bonuses down below, guys. Join the Legends community, as Staffer1 is saying. Thank you, Staffer. Thank you, DevUp, for joining. Much love to you, Byron. You can use a combination of everything, of course. Check out the links down below, guys. You got some great perks and bonuses, okay? BTCC, you got Bluffin. They just require an email and a password. You got Bitcoin and hundreds of different altcoins. Bluffin for me is kind of number one. I really like Bluffin a lot. You can join the VIP community with a minimum deposit, guys. Okay, that's where I'm sharing a little bit of my trading scenarios that I'm looking for, mainly for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very patient trader, looking for swing trades. Need to get back into scalping. In the zone again, day trading. Much love to everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you for joining and smashing up the like button. It's been a good one. Friday evening, just going through. Chillax, guys. High probability that we do not break down to much lower levels here, and we are looking for a reversal soon, a reversal relief rally. Okay, much love to everybody. Thank you for joining. See you later.